Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. I've got no excuse for what's going on here, but you're all used to that now. The opposite of dishevelled. Yeah, got another beer review. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Apologies for all the background noise, got some washing on, got the drying pod on. And yeah, what a day it's been today. Everton losing 2-1 to Luton. Speaks for itself, really. We had 2 wins on the bounce, so of course this was going to happen. I didn't watch it because I was out because we have my niece visits on the weekend, and a few of us went for a little walk in the Beacon. Absolutely pissed it down, and yeah, so it's been one of those days today, and even though I've been well behaved and haven't touched a beer for the best part of a week, aside from midweek when Everton were playing Villa in the Carabao Cup, which we won. You'd be an absolute fool to think we could carry that on. I've not really drank, mainly because I've been a little bit ill this week. The Fest beer series that I've been doing is pretty much at a halt because I've got no new beers to do. So yeah, I'm in dire need of doing a beer order. And this is the last beer that I've got from my recent trip to State of Kind Brewco in Hindley, and this is a can of the Jude. Was going to break out into a bit of Beatles there, but I'll save you the audible torment. 5.5% ABV pale with a beautiful cosmos space thingy. Words are just failing me. Hops are Citra, Mosaic, Brew One, and Sabro Cryo. So a really nice selection of hops there, and probably one of the best sort of mission statements from a brewery ever. Don't be a dick, just be kind. Which moves me on to another thing that's really fucked me off today. With some fans mocking Bradley, I can't remember what his second name was. There's like a charity or foundation now called Bradley's Fight, about the 6-year-old who unfortunately passed away due to cancer, even though a few years prior was in remission. And it's like people at the stadium were like taking the piss and mocking it, and I'm like, words just don't exist. Now, I've got no sort of like attachment to a situation like that because thankfully, I mean, I don't have kids. You've got to meet someone to have kids. But yeah, luckily none of my family have ever had to deal with that. None of my friends have really ever had to deal with that. So I've got no attachment to a situation like that. And even though I'm one of these people who says, you know, we shouldn't, you know, go after people who make jokes and things like that, that's completely different. This isn't, it's just so mean-spirited to rile up and to upset people. And you know what, they could defend, oh, it's just a joke. Shit like that's not a joke, it's fucking sick. And I hope that either yourselves or people you know never have to go through what Bradley or his family did. And I don't know why, it just really made my piss boil, because I hate stuff like that. So yeah, so that's another reason why I'm cracking open a beer today. Anyway, let's, oh shit, that's a wooden floor, it'll be fine. Just remember to wipe it up. Anyway, let's see what we get with this one. Oh, a massive glass of creamy head, which will make Adam, aka Mersey Beers, create his own creamy head. Don't pour more beer into it while it's still like that, Peter. Get with the programme. I think we've got enough beer in there to see what it looks like. Really nice sort of like powdery, orangey, pale colour. Nice amount of haze in there. Really nice reinforced, creamy, soapy, foamy white head. Looking like a festival pour. Anyway, let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, well, I'm definitely getting that Sabro coming through. Oh, God, yeah. That tropical, coconutty aroma. Balanced really nicely with a sweet citrusy element to it. It's like a creamy yogurt character almost. Like a nondescript fruit yogurt. Oh, that smells absolutely wonderful. Really nice, sweet, sherbety sort of aroma. And I think there's a fly, or I'm just seeing things. Great, so I'm hearing voices in my head and now I'm seeing things that aren't really there. Shut up. Anyway, smells nice. Don't know why I raised my glass like that to go in for another sniff, but it is what it is. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Said guys way too many times then. Ooh. Now, as sweet and as vibrant as the nose would lead you to believe, yeah, I think it's just going to keep pouring like that, isn't it? I've not shook up the can or anything like that. It's been in my beer fridge since I bought it. Although the other can that I had, because I bought 3 cans while I was at the brewery, I've reviewed one of them, but the second one I just cracked open to watch the football. And that almost had the same sort of thing. So I'm not too sure what that might be. Did I very aggressively transport the beer back from the brewery to my house? I don't know. Anyway, let's go in for another taste. You're still getting like a slight remnant of what's it called, coconut in there. Sweetness is not as much as it is on the nose. That was a very awkward sip then. It's a little bit of like a slight apricot character coming through. And for some reason, I've got rhubarb and custard boiled sweets in my head. But it's not really like rhubarby or custardy. It's a little bit more carbonation than I was expecting, which is probably, that could be playing a part in why the head keeps getting massive every time you pour it. But I wouldn't say it's like overcarbed. In terms of like citrusy characters, I'm getting quite like a sharp lime, almost. And it's got like a slight peppery, spiced, herbal rocket leaf sort of flavour. Very, very subtle though, that's what I will say. Yeah, it is quite carbonated. But mind you, I'm so fat and disgusting, I burp off a slight bit of water, so my internal workings are probably beyond repair. I could imagine that if you were to cut my stomach open, it would smell absolutely foul. I think it's like on the borderline of my internal organs being mush. Something definitely wrong inside of me. Take that as you will. But you know what? I take comfort for all of my faults and for how disgusting I am as a person. I take comfort in the fact that I don't find humour in terminally ill children like quite a few people in this country. It's just really, well, I mean, it's probably because I've been spending the day with my 6-year-old niece. And I don't know, do you know when, like, it's just, I just can't believe people would, like, think that that's an okay or funny thing to do. Anyway, we won't harp on about it, because it's a beer review. A little bit of like a lemon custard element there. It's quite a hearty pale ale. It's not really like fruity, hoppy sort of character. There are fruity notes there. There is a hoppiness there. The Sabro to me works more as an aromatic on this one. I've been mentioning Sabro a lot on this. But yeah, it's Citra. You get in the Citra. Mosaic, I always get sort of like slight sweet berry characters. There's maybe a little bit of tartness in there. Brew One, I'm not too sure what the main characteristics of Brew One are. But there is a little bit of a drying sensation on the back end. And then I see the hop Brew -1, and then I think of like a brute-like character. But it's not a brute, nowhere near being anywhere near a brute style pale ale, which, by the way, can you believe people still brew brute IPAs? I mean, who drinks, and apologies if you really like brute IPAs and pales, but who drinks brute IPAs and pales and thinks, that was so tasty? It's got a nice, slightly pillowy mouthfeel to it. I think it's an absolutely bang-on pale. Nothing too amazing, but far from bland or bad. But yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all from State of Kind. I don't think I've actually had a bad beer from these guys, whether that be in the cans that I've had. I actually thought I'd reviewed a few more, but it looks like I might have just drank the beers. How dare I, as a beer reviewer, just buy beers to enjoy and not make really long-winded and boring beer reviews of. And yeah, at the tap room again, just every beer that I had and I tasted was just solid. But you say solid and that's just like alright. Like beyond solid, really good beers. And I'm hoping that they get, traction in the same way as like Rivington and Chain House, Chapter. These sort of like lesser sort of respect. I don't mind, they are respected. They are making waves, but do you know what I mean? Like the Northwest, especially in places like Wigan, around Preston Way, because we've got Liverpool and Manchester. I'm not sure what sort of like notable breweries there are in the like of like Bolton or places like that. But you know, some could argue there's an oversaturation. Some could argue that a lot of breweries won't last because there's so much competition, and then the government's, you know, working against them when it comes to like duty and things like that, and cost of living. But there's no one really, unless you live in the most remote like parts of the British Isles. You don't have to travel that far to get good beer. I mean, you don't anyway, because a lot of places do nationwide delivery. And I mean, you've seen on the channel, I say that as if I, you know, try as many breweries as I can. You do see a lot of the same breweries pop up on the channel and stuff like that, but I'm just, in the northwest of England, we've got some fantastic breweries. And like, even like going to Yorkshire, which at one point was like the place in the UK to get amazing beers. Also used to be the place where you could get amazing donuts until, sorry to sound like Nigel Farage, until like the woke brigade came after them over absolute nonsense. And then just basically made the lives of the couple who owned Temple Donuts a misery, and like were taking photos of the car and license plate, putting it on social media and things like that. And they've been, from what I could see, one of the most inclusive sort of places ever, but based on like allegations of the way they spoke to certain members of staff, and then sort of like in-house jokes that were in bad taste and stuff. It's just like, are we really at that point now where you would happily let a company suffer over, you know, things like that? I mean, look at Brewdog, where there's like genuine, you know, cases and things that have been brought to light, and you know, they're still probably the biggest craft brewery in the UK. But that was just like a temporary outrage. But unfortunately for those who were outraged, Brewdog managed to carry on. Whereas a smaller business, if you bully and harass, there's a good chance that they're going to have to fold. But the donuts were amazing. They had good coffee as well. Plus the merch game was fantastic. And State of Kind's merch game is very nice as well. Very much like my sweatshirt that I bought. And I was worried that it wouldn't fit. But, I mean, when you're my size, it's hard to make even the best fitting clothes look good. But some of these craft breweries, the products that they use for their merch, like specific brands, and it's like, that is not an extra large. That's not even a large. Stop catering for a very specific market and broaden your sizes so everyone can comfortably promote a brewery that they really, really like. I'm looking at you, Track, with your ill-fitting yet wonderful t-shirts. But yeah, State of Kind, the XL sweatshirt that I bought actually fits like an XL sweatshirt, and it's because of my own unflattering body. That's the only reason. Do you know what I mean? You see what, again, if you're a bigger person, man or woman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But a lot of breweries want to like cater for like, oh, the cycling crowd, or oh, we've got our own running club. It's like, yeah, it's all well and good, but you know, some of the people who buy your products are overweight. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I've ranted on. Anyway, I've ranted on a lot in this video. But the message in general is don't be a dick, just be kind. And yeah, if you've tried this beer or any other beers from State of Kind Brew Co., let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. I'm sad now that I've got no more beer in the house. I've only got like high ABV Belgian beers and then some runaway sour beers, although not really the biggest runaway brewery fan as of late because of how they've spoke to a friend of mine because of like a review or something like that. It's like, I don't get so protective. My God. And it's a shame because I had a really good American bitter that they did with Blackjack. Blackjack, another very underrated Northwest brewery, and a really nice pub that they've got in Manchester. But yeah, hopefully State of Kind. I'm not sure what their distribution is like across the country, but definitely worth having a go. Not just a brewery that does really good pale ales and IPAs. The Imperial Stout that I had, although for my personal preferences, would have liked to be a little bit more chunkier, was tasting absolutely fantastic. And yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because I've been rambling on long enough. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And I've just realised how very oddly staged this review is. It's almost like one of those... do you remember that trend with like BBC programmes or dramas where they're like... I don't know, somehow got bigger. Where like the person in focus or the focal point would be sat there and then just loads of space behind them, as if like the wall was like 100 metres away, even though they're sitting on a couch leaning against the wall. Yeah, I'm not really proving my point here. Terrible backdrop, messy table. Yeah. Anyway, my hair is fucking awful. See you guys later. Bye.